Hey, Eric here, and today's video is about big changes coming to the Salt Lake Valley in 2025 and things that the city and the county are working on to make more housing, better transportation. So thanks for joining me, and let's dive in. The first one I want to discuss is the Holladay Hills Development. So this is on the location of the old Cottonwood Mall. That mall was abandoned a long time ago, probably like 15 years ago. It's on Highland Drive and about 50th South, and there was a lot of different developers trying to develop it. And finally one won out, and since then there's still been the big ZCMI building that now they're working on. Before that, they built a building that is mostly condos and apartments. So we're going to detail that one a little bit because that's the finished product right now. So this project is going to last for the next 4 to 5 years. Like I mentioned, right now there's one finished building that has about 133 rentals or condominiums for rent. Additionally, on the very top floor, there are some very luxury condos for sale. Most of those have already been sold. I helped a client get into one of those, and now they're finishing it out. It's absolutely stunning views of the whole Wasatch, stunning views of Cottonwood Creek, of the Oakers, Mount Olympus, really great views from up there. Additionally, these condos, these apartments, also great amenity packages. Like right now in development, there's a lot of talk about having amenities. You know, they have 2 floors of underground parking or above ground, but secured parking. And then on the next floor up, there's a pool. I think there's a golf simulator, barbecues, etc. for all those tenants to really have a great life. It's amazing how popular amenities have come in apartments right now. So additionally, this location will be built out with a lot of commercial, a lot of mixed use, and a lot of housing. You know, one of the streets on here is actually Rodeo Walk Drive. So that kind of gets your mind thinking Rodeo Drive in California, right? That's the level of build and beauty that this developer is working on. Keep an eye out there. In one of the depictions, I saw Lifetime Fitness as being one of the anchor tenants there. That's a very high-end fitness, and right now there's not one in the Holladay area. The closest, I think, is South Jordan. Keep an eye on that development. There's going to be a lot coming, and it's a lot of land and a lot of housing that we need in the Holladay area. Next up is the Downtown Sports District. As you know, Ryan Smith bought the Utah Jazz 4 years ago, then he bought Real Salt Lake, and then last year he actually went out and brought a professional hockey team here from Arizona. They were the Arizona Coyotes, now they are the Utah Hockey Club. They're actually still looking for a name. But there's been a big push to renovate the Delta Center. You know, hockey and basketball courts are different sizes, so I know there's seats in the Delta Center where you can't actually see the entire ice rink. But additionally, they want to renovate the Delta Center, but they want to make an entire entertainment district that goes from the Delta Center over to City Creek Mall. So City Creek Mall ends on West Temple. And then as you head west, you have the Salt Palace and a Brownell Hall. And then you have another block, which is probably a little bit of Salt Palace and a hotel. And then you get over to 300 West and you get the Delta Center, which is between 300 and 400 West. The goal of this development is to create this big entertainment stretch between City Creek and the Delta Center. So last year, the city council voted 6-0 to help pay for this. You know, there were a lot of memes running around about how cities pay for rich people's developments. Well, this was one of those memes. The city is contributing $900 million to this project. A portion of that will be going to renovate the stadium, and then the rest of the entertainment district that they're developing probably won't be done until 2032 or 33, and that's kind of leading into the next Winter Olympics that Salt Lake is planning to host. Going back to Ryan Smith, he brought the hockey club here, and with that he wanted or needed a training facility that could also be used for a community center. Luckily, there's a lot of vacant real estate, like we mentioned earlier, the Cottonwood Mall. Well, the Southtown Mall also had a bunch of empty real estate, so he bought one of those buildings originally to create a training facility. In the end, he ended up buying the entire Southtown Mall area. As you know, the Salt Lake Criterium, or now Utah Crits, is also in these locations in Sandy. The South Valley Chamber and the mayor have been awesome to work with on it. This is good for Sandy. It's right off the freeway at 106 South. It's great for those shops that are still in the mall. You know, they're probably gonna get a big boost in revenue and business as this area becomes more visited by by hockey fans and bike racers alike. So next up is called the Point Development. As you may remember, the Utah State Prison was relocated to kind of the inland port area by the airport. So that left 600 acres available to develop in the city of Draper, which is on the south end of Salt Lake Valley. We know it's going to be a big kind of multi-use city, you know, a city within a city almost. They're going to have mixed use, they're going to have apartments, they're going to have probably single family townhomes, all sorts of stuff like that, grocery and entertainment, all to make it a great community hub within Draper. One of the things I really like about this location, it's kind of in between Interstate 15 for easy freeway access, and on the west side, you have the Jordan River Trail. So if you're not familiar, the Jordan River Trail is a giant multi-use kind of bike path that follows the Jordan River all the way north of Salt Lake and south to Provo. And from there, you can cut off to a ton of different recreation trails. You could also head south after you cross the freeway and get onto the Murdoch Canal Trail. I anticipate Draper is a huge outdoor area. People move there a lot of times because they want access to Corner Canyon, and I think this will be pretty similar. It's going to be nice that it has its own entertainment, its own shopping, its own mixed use, and hopefully a lot of housing units. Because as we all know, we need more housing here in Utah. We've been in a shortage for a long time, and more housing units is really going to help. So next up is Utah City Development. So this is a 700-acre development in Vineyard, Utah. So it's kind of interesting they're calling it Utah City, but it's actually in Vineyard, Utah. So Vineyard is a city between Orem and Utah Lake. It's been there for a long time. Not a lot had been happening over the years. Orem's obviously closer to Provo and BYU. So Vineyard had a lot of land, so they built this big, well, they started building, it's still in process, multi-use community on 700 acres, master planned. This one, like others, it's going to be a master planned community. They want it to have a nice downtown area with mixed use development, including commercial, probably going to try and bring in some of those Silicon Slope people with retail office and condos and townhouses. So like I mentioned with the development at the Point, they want more housing units. We need more housing units here in Utah. As mentioned, you know, this will probably get some of that pour over from the Silicon Slopes companies, and the goal is to make this that all-inclusive, happy city. It's going to be close to Utah Lake, so you know it's going to have some great outdoor recreation like all of Utah has. So it's probably going to be a great place to live. Lastly, I want to cover the Frontrunner train expansion. In preparation for the Winter Olympics in 2002, we actually started this whole light rail and Frontrunner development system, because before that we were very car-centric. Light rail is what goes in the city, you know, smaller trains, goes from the University of Utah all the way out to Draper, all the way out to Daybreak now. And then Frontrunner is more of a bigger train. It's actually a diesel train that runs from Provo to Ogden, usually 50 to 70 miles an hour, I imagine. Some of the issues with the Frontrunner is they've been on single lines. So they only have one railroad track, and then if there's two cars passing, then one of them has to pull off on a side thing and wait for the other one to pass, then jump back on. So that creates issues with, you know, schedules. You can't run as many trains. You have to have trains wait. So over the last year and into the future, they are working to get more double track in that existing area. So from Ogden down to Provo, adding more double track so the trains can have a better schedule. Additionally, they're expanding, lengthening the Frontrunner. So from the north in the Ogden area, they're actually going to take it all the way up to Brigham City, Utah. So this is great because I know that a lot of people commute from Cache Valley down to Ogden or sometimes to Salt Lake. So maybe now they'll just need to drive over to Brigham, jump on the train and get to their job. Or people in Brigham that just need to commute to Ogden, etc. And then on the south end, it currently stops in Provo, but they're planning to expand it all the way down to Payson. So Payson has had explosive growth with single family homes. And I know one of my clients that I helped get a home there, they actually commute to Provo to the hospital there. So right now he's driving that probably every day. You know, in the future, if he wanted to, he could start using that train system. All that's down the road, but this helps alleviate I-15. We know I-15 has way too much traffic. We're starting to get a lot of traffic, and they've been talking about you can't expand I-15 forever. And there was a joke that they were just gonna make it a double-decker freeway, which I don't know if that'd work very well with our winters and our snow, but who knows? I'm not the road design person. That's what I wanted to update you about big changes in 2025, big developments. It's gonna be great for our state, great for our jobs, etc. Just real quick, I wanted to mention, my name's Eric Gardner. I'm a full-time realtor with eXp Realty, and I'm here to help you if you're looking to relocate to Utah or in Utah. I help a lot of people buy and sell real estate all over the Wasatch Front and Utah in general. So if you have questions, my team would be happy to answer them. Feel free to schedule a call with me at the link below.